If you want your t-shirts and transfers to look and feel soft and bendable and hold up really well in the wash and to wear, it starts with the software. So in this video, I am going to walk you through the process of what you need to do in the software to get your design ready to print a transfer and then press onto a t-shirt. Hey, I'm Sarah, you're watching Creative Ramblings. In this video, we are talking about t-shirt transfers and making shirts that look and feel really soft and hold up really well. So I am specifically going to be using the iColor 560 white toner printer and the ProRIP Essentials software that comes with it. So if that's speaking to you, if you have one of those iColor printers and software, we're going to walk through everything together. If you are using another transfer method like DTF or another type of printer, a lot of the concepts that we're going to talk about can be transferred to other software and other printers. This is all about how to get your design ready for a really high quality transfer that's going to turn into a really nice print. It's going to feel great and last a long time. So here's everything I'm using for this process. I have the iColor 560 white toner printer. If you want to learn more about this printer, I have a bunch of videos linked down below. It is an all-in-one printer that can really replace everything else you own. Fantastic printer. Today we're just using it to do t-shirt transfers. Then we need some two-step transfer paper. This is what we're going to print our transfers onto. Once we have everything printed, we need a heat press. So I'm using a manual heat press with a silicone mat so I can get really firm pressure. I've also got a piece of Teflon in there. I need some heat-proof gloves, a scissors, and then I'm going to use a top sheet as well. That and the transfer paper are from iColor, and I will link those down below. Now, most importantly, we need software. And whenever you get an iColor printer, you are going to get software with it. So I am using ProRIP Essentials. There is no license, there is no additional fee, you just get the software. So we are going to use that software to edit our image and get it ready for printing. This is the ProRIP Essentials software. We are going to be able to do everything we need to do to our image right here in this software. So the first thing we're going to do is come over here on the right-hand side to print settings. And this is going to help us set up the printer so it can do what we need it to do. So this is actually all set up exactly how I had it for my last print. So I have the iColor 560. The print mode is two-step standard transfer paper. The way we are printing transfers involves two steps. So that's what this is. It's a specific type of paper. The media size is going to match the print mode. I am putting it through the bypass tray versus loading it into the tray in the printer. And I am using overprint. When I select overprint, this graphic is going to reflect how the ink in my printer needs to be situated. If I were to select underprint, it would change up or CMYK, but we are doing overprint right now. So now let's bring in an image. When set to overprint, the image is going to be brought onto the screen and automatically be mirrored. It's a little harder to tell when there's not text, but it's going to mirror because of the way that it's printed onto the paper. There are a number of ways that we can edit and alter this image. So over on the right, we're going to go to artwork. And the first thing I want to do is come to this fill button right here. You can see that the background is red. I was using red for a previous project. If I click on that, I can change the background to any color I want. I use this to reflect my t-shirt color. So my t-shirt's going to be black and I can hit OK. So whatever I do to this image, I can see how it will show up on a black t-shirt. Very helpful. The next thing I'm going to do is crop my image. This is going to take away any blank space. And then I'm going to use the button in the bottom right to take that image and fill as much of the screen as possible. You can also manually adjust using the corners down here. So this is a good size for me. I've got that black background. Let's come back over to print settings. So there's two things we're going to do to this image to make it feel and look soft and hold up really well. As I mentioned, we're going to put this on a black t-shirt, hence we have the black background. So therefore, I don't really need to print all of this black ink. If I printed this entire image as is, I am just going to get an entire rectangle of ink. It's going to feel and look kind of papery. I run the risk of getting some cracks when I wash it, and it might not hold up as well. So what I can do is remove the black ink or whatever ink matches the t-shirt color. If I had, let's say, a dark orange t-shirt, I could remove the dark orange, or a white, I could remove the white, that kind of thing. So this is a really easy process to do. I'm going to click on the image, right click on the image, come down to color replace or remove. In this screen, I go to add a color, and I'm going to pick it from the graphic. In this case, I'm going to pick the black and then remove. And the software removes all of the black in the image. Now I can hit OK. And on this screen, it doesn't look much different because I have that black background. So on a black t-shirt, this is going to look very normal. If I come over and change the background to, let's say, a lighter color, you can see what I removed and that I removed all that black. So this does a couple things for us. When you are washing the shirt, it allows water to go through that t-shirt area and hold up a little bit better. It gives it a place to move versus having all of this ink on the shirt. So now there's another step we're going to do to make it even softer and more durable. We are going to break up the remaining ink that's on this shirt because we still have large swaths of orange and white on here. So that's where this button comes over. We're in print settings. This is toner reduction or rasterization. So if I click on this, it's going to bring up a whole other window. And there's a lot of things we can do here. What rasterization means, I'm going to turn it on here, is that we are going to add a whole bunch of little pixels or dots to this entire image. And that is going to allow it to move and be flexible and hold up really well. But to someone who's looking at your shirt, who's standing next to you, who's having a conversation with you, they're not really going to notice the dots. You might notice them if you're up very close, but it's going to create a better shirt in the long run. All right, so we've already turned it on. Now we're going to come up to add color. This is going to help us rasterize this image. There's a couple of things we can do. We can do the entire graphic, which is what we're going to do. You could also say entire graphic selected color only. So I could pick just this white or just this light orange here. I could select a certain area or use transparency. But we're going to apply those pixels to the entire graphic. Now it's going to take a moment and update a preview for us so we can see exactly what happened. So by clicking on preview, I can move this little box around and I can see that I have a ton of holes all over the place. But when I look at the large graphic, when you kind of stand further away, you don't really notice the holes. I do have the ability to alter a little bit of what these holes look like. So I prefer round, but you can do lines, squares, diamonds, a whole bunch of different shapes, and you can also change the angle. This is what I prefer, round and 45, but you can play around and see if a different one works better for you. We can also change the hole size. I'm going to go down quite a bit. I prefer to be somewhere between 1 and 3. The size 14 is just a little bit too big and it gets to be a little visible. So I'm going to update this to 2. And that is exactly where I want it. So now we can go to save and exit and go back to our main image. So we've knocked out the black, we've rasterized the entire image, all in an effort to make this look and feel soft and hold up really well. Now we're ready to print. We are using two-step transfer paper. So the B side is adhesive. We're going to use that later. The A side is what we're printing on. This paper has a glossy and a matte side, and we need to print on the matte side. I'm going to load it into the bypass tray and let it print. You can clearly see our work here. There is no black ink, just clear spots where the shirt is going to go through. And if you look very closely, you can see some of those tiny little dots that are breaking up all of the ink. To turn this into a T-shirt transfer, we need a heat press. So I've got a manual heat press here with a silicone pad. I'm set at 310 degrees. We're going to go for 120 seconds. So I'm laying that A side down, ink side facing up. Then I've got the B side, which is an adhesive paper, and I'm going to lay that down on top of it, put some Teflon over it, and then press these two together. The glue on the adhesive is going to stick to the ink, creating a T-shirt transfer. When it is done, wear some heat-proof gloves and slowly pull the B side off of the A side. The adhesive is going to be left on the ink and we're going to be ready to transfer. Don't rush this, go slow and even until it is completely pulled off. There is a little border left around this from the glue. Make sure you trim that off or that will transfer to your shirt and it doesn't look good. Now we're ready to put it on a shirt. So I'm still set at 310 degrees, but I'm going to go down to 30 seconds. So I'm just going to lay my black t-shirt on here, use a lint roller, get some of the wrinkles out, and then I'm going to place my design down, cover it with Teflon, and press that for 30 seconds. This is cold peel. So I'm laying it on my granite work table here. It has to be completely cool and then we can just roll it back and my design is done. Now, even with this rasterization, it does have a little bit of a shiny feel. So we are going to press it one more time with this top seal sheet. Just for about 10 seconds, it's going to soften that up even more. When I was all done with this process, I noticed this little black spot. I don't know exactly where this came from. I think it might have come from my heat press. So I reprinted the design we made and just pressed it again on the back of the shirt. So now we don't have that black spot anymore. Just full disclosure in case it looks a little different. There's the original and then I repressed it on the black. So now we can compare the two images. The one on the left is the full ink. This is no knockout, no rasterization. It is a little bit brighter. It's very shiny, even though I use the top seal on it. And it does have kind of a papery feel. I don't have sound on here to listen to it, but it does have kind of a papery, crumply feel. And you can see the glossy black and all the glossy colors on here. This is probably going to crack after a number of washes. Now let's compare that to the item that was knocked out and rasterized. This particular one has a softer feel to it, and you can definitely move it around a little bit more. We've got that black fabric showing through on the little swirls and the pieces of the pumpkin. It's softer and it's definitely more pliable. Looking very closely, you can see some of the holes in there. But really, when we step back and look at both of them together, other than a slight color difference, you really can't tell. When you are designing t-shirt transfers, I hope that you can use these steps to get your end result to be soft, durable, feel really good, and look really good. That is the whole point of all of this. Now, a couple things I do want to point out. You do not have to do both knockout of a color and rasterization. You could do one or the other. So on this particular image here, we could just take out the black and not rasterize the color. It would give it a little bit more bold color. You would still have these large swaths of ink, but it would give it a different look and feel. The other thing you could do is only rasterize one color. So maybe this light orange where there's a whole bunch of it, I could just rasterize that color and not the other ones. So now that you know what to do, when you get into the software, play around with it a little bit. It's going to be different for each image you upload. This is just one big swath of ink here, so we had a lot to work with. But you may have an image where you only need to knock out or rasterize a certain portion of it. So now that you know what to do, you can go play around with it. I mentioned earlier that the iColor 560 is a really versatile printer. It is a white toner printer, so it has white ink. I do not own another printer with white ink, so it is very versatile. I like printing on dark cardstock with it. I like making t-shirts. There is a way to do sublimation with that printer. I have actually printed onto a special paper and then transferred it to hard surfaces like acrylic and ceramic. So it's a very, very versatile printer that is well worth the investment. So go take a look at the other iColor videos I have below. If you have any other questions or comments on this whole process, let me know down below. I would love to chat with you. If you liked this video, if you found it helpful, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I'm here every week with new videos helping you move forward in your creative journey. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.